Hi all, I am Jihaz Khan and I am working as a specialist in electric vehicle and autonomous driving validation in Tata Elxsi. I will be taking you through the second half of today's presentation where I will speak about e-mobility hills, electric vehicle validation from Tata Elxsi using NI solutions. This is the agenda of today's discussion. We will start with an overview of Tata Elxsi, give an introduction about electric vehicles or EV. We will discuss about e-mobility hills and how it can be used for the validation of DC-DC converters, battery management system, motor control unit, inverter, etc. We will discuss about the advantages of e-mobility hills and the benefits of using National Instruments tools for EV testing. We will conclude with the Q&A session. This slide gives an overview about Tata Elxsi. Tata Elxsi is a technology-led design services company headquartered in Bangalore, India. We connect the finer aspects of design, content and technology to create great experiences for the consumers and exceptional outcomes for brands and businesses. We do consumer research, technology consulting, product design, development, testing for various industry sectors like transportation, broadcast, communications, healthcare, etc. This is enabled through a core team of 6,500 plus engineers and technologists who work from different locations in India and service our global clients. In automotive, we work for the last 20 years and brings together a world-class artificial intelligence and analytics practice, an award-winning HMI and design team, and ASPICE Level 5 certified automotive engineering to drive solutions for the autonomous and connected cars of the future. This figure gives a pure electric vehicle architecture, and the ECUs highlighted in blue are considered under the scope of validation in today's discussion. Battery Management System or BMS is responsible for monitoring and maintaining state and health of battery through operations like cell balancing, proper charging, discharging, etc. Motor control unit plus inverter is responsible for the conversion of battery DC to AC during traction and for the conversion of generated AC to DC during regenerative braking, and its main functions are to achieve required speed, torque and to implement regenerative braking. Electric vehicle supply equipment provides proper AC to on-board charger module or OBCM. OBCM is responsible for safe and efficient battery charging where the AC is converted to proper DC for battery charging. DC-DC converters are power electronic devices which are responsible for bidirectional energy transfer between the high voltage network and the low voltage network. This slide gives an introduction to Tata Elxsi's e-mobility hills. What is e-mobility hills? It is Tata Elxsi's National Instruments based solution for the validation of EV systems such as battery, inverters, DC-DC converters, etc. using the concept of hills, where we can perform functional testing, drive cycle testing, network test, load test, performance analysis, etc. E-mobility framework is part of e-mobility hills and it is a collection of readily available graphical user interface, plan models, test automation framework and a rich test case library for EV validation developed using NI LabVIEW, NI Veristand. We also support third-party device communication with NI RTPC. Simulated environments, drive scenarios, vehicle dynamics, etc. are already implemented. 90% automated real-time testing is available. We also have an option of extending EV validation to complete interconnected vehicle level hills where autonomous driving or AD and ADAS infotainment telematics ECU are also brought under the scope of validation. Let us start with the DC-DC converter power level hills architecture. National Instruments Real-Time Hill Simulator is used here. DC-DC converter is the device under test, which is the only physical unit present in a lab as compared to real vehicle, while everything else is simulated. A two-quadrant power supply is used to simulate the energy source, which can act as a source or load. And a programmable DC electronic load is used for simulating energy sinking devices like loads in vehicle. In addition to supply and load, we have high resolution, high accuracy sensors capable of measuring voltage and current at both input and output side. Optionally, pre-charge circuit can also be made part of the sensing circuit. The device under test is kept inside a thermal chamber and connected to a chiller for validating functionalities related to temperature, like temperature derating functionality. All the programmable devices, the device under test as well as the sensing and pre-charge circuitry is controlled and monitored by the real-time hills using e-mobility framework. E-mobility framework is a combination of test automation framework, GUI, plan models and a test case library. Test automation framework is developed on top of NI LabVIEW and in backend uses NI Veristand. It allows you to create test cases and execute them in real time without knowledge on any programming language, as we use keyword-based test case creation technology. Graphical user interface is based on NI LabVIEW, allows you to visualize and experience what type of testing is going on, whether it be automated or manual. Plan models are created in NI LabVIEW for replicating the real-world planned behavior, which are physically implemented using supplies and loads. This is the GUI used for the validation of DC-DC at power level. You can see the high voltage, voltage and current values here on the left box, and the low voltage, and current on the right box. As you can see, when I am increasing the voltage to around 260 volt, the device is turning on and producing 12 voltage at its output. Then I am using a DC electronic load to take a sinusoidal waveform current pattern from the output side. You can see the same in static display values here. These sensed values are coming from the high resolution sensors part of hills and not coming from the DC-DC converters. This GUI is giving you an example of how to validate a test case related to the efficiency computation of the device under test. So we compute the ratio of output power to input power and make sure that it is within the target range as committed by the requirements. In addition to the functional testing, we can also see the diagnostics state of the ECU as well as the health status of the ECU. We have custom load devices for the communication between the load and the RTPC. Similarly, custom devices are there for the communication of every power device in Hills lab to the RTPC. The plan models comprise of ripple measurement VI, pre-charged model VI, etc. So the collection of the GUI, the plan models, the custom devices along with a rich library of test cases makes the e-mobility framework. This is the BMS signal level Hills architecture, where we do not use the real battery because it is a signal level validation, but we use battery simulator. Battery simulator provides the cell tap voltage and current based on the command coming from the Hills. How Hills notes this? Because it is having an intelligent cell model which is replicating the real world cell behavior. Cell model is part of e-mobility framework. The cell taps will be then going through the fault insertion unit or FIU, which is again connected to NI Hills. Fault insertion unit allows you to create individual fault on cell tap lines, for example open circuit, and see how battery management system responds to that. Simulated IO and vehicle network like CAN is also coming from the NI Hills to battery management system. Since the battery pack is not present in real, the simulated IO will provide the battery pack parameters like the pack current, pack voltage, etc. The cell model can be reconfigured to meet the capacity chemistry of the battery under interest, and it can also be connected in series and parallel to create the battery model based on the requirement. The e-mobility framework, as I told previously, which comprises of the test automation framework GUI cell model, is completely developed by Tata Elxsi on top of NI LabVIEW and Veristand, which can be licensed. This test system allows you to validate different functionalities of battery management system like cell balancing, proper charging, discharging, diagnostics, network management, etc. Cell model is the brain of the BMS signal level validation hills. Cell model, which is part of e-mobility framework, is shown here. It's having current against time as one of its input. Other inputs are initial state of charge or SOC in percentage, battery capacity in AH, temperature against time, and the outputs of the cell model are final state of charge or current SOC in percentage, terminal voltage, and state of health or SOH all against time. The cell model is using a second order Thevenin model for the cell modeling, where state of charge is estimated using Coulomb counting technique. Extended Kalman filter or EKF based recursive predictive algorithm is used for bringing in real world nonlinearities and dynamics. We impart the impact of temperature on the internal resistance of the cell. And finally, the state of health is computed from capacity depletion technique. Here we have shown some graphs which we got from the real-time cell model. The first two graphs corresponds to the state of charge in percentage and the terminal voltage of one cell plotted for a constant or a same value of current waveform as it is shown here. It is evident that a negative value of current which corresponds to charging is increasing the state of charge, which is getting capped at 100%. Similarly, a positive value of current or the process of discharge is reducing the state of charge of the battery. Similarly, same impact on the terminal voltage can also be seen, where charging corresponds to increasing of the cell terminal voltage and discharging corresponds to reduction of terminal voltage. And finally, we also have the impact of temperature on the internal resistance of the cell. This cell model can be used to create a battery model by connecting individual cells in series and parallel based on the configuration we have, which can be used for validation of any BMS. Let us take a look at the BMS signal level validation GUI part of the e-mobility framework. What you are seeing currently is a test case which is being executed for cell balancing. As you can see, individual cell voltage can be shown in this GUI, where we have purposefully created a single cell to be an over voltage as compared to the nominal voltage in the other cells. This specific device under test, the battery management system ECU, is having passive balancing feature, which means it will use an internal shunt resistor circuit to dissipate over voltage cells current as compared to normal voltage cells. And you can see we have shown the current which is flowing in that shunt resistor or in the individual cells near each cell. And you can see the shunt current is high for the over voltage cell as compared to other normal voltage cells. And you can also visualize the fault status here, where this line will be broken or open or short to other line, etc. The same GUI can be used for visualizing the pack voltage parameters like state of charge, state of health, average cell voltage, pack current, etc. The floating graph gives you an overview of individual cell voltage as well as the pack voltage. The GUI also gives an overview about the diagnostic trouble codes as well as the health status of the ECU. This is the BMS power level hills architecture, where the fundamental difference from the signal level architecture is the presence of real battery pack, which is connected to battery management system for the individual cell tabs and enclosed inside a thermal chamber and connected to chiller. As Avichal has mentioned in the previous presentation, the battery pack is charged, discharged based on various drive cycle patterns, which is implemented through the NI battery cycler. Since this is already discussed in previous presentation. I am not going in detail. This is the motor control unit signal level hills architecture, where the motor control unit alone is the real device, while inverter and motor is simulated using high frequency FPGA hardware from NI, which is made part of the NI PXI chassis. The motor control unit will be generating the required gate drive signals in PWM format based on the required speed or torque value coming from the CAN or vehicle network. This will be acquired through proper I/O channels in hills and given to the inverter model, which generates the phase voltage values. Motor model converts the phase voltage values to appropriate phase current values, and also generates the sensor position feedback, which are fed back into the motor control unit. So the motor control unit believes that it is actually connected to the real motor and inverter, since it is in a closed loop, and we can validate different motor control strategies like DTC, FOC, etc. This is the motor control unit plus inverter power level hills architecture, where we will use the real battery pack as the energy source. Motor control unit plus inverter will be converting the battery DC into required AC for driving the traction motor based on the required commands simulated from the hills. Traction motor's shaft is extended to a torque sensor and coupled with a dynamometer, which allows you to load the traction motor. Dynamometer or dyno is controlled by an AFE VFD panel, which is connected to power grid. Active front end or AFE is responsible for converting the generated energy in dyno into an appropriate format so that we can push it back to the grid. Variable frequency drive or VFD is a power device which converts input power of constant voltage, constant frequency to output power of variable voltage, variable frequency, so as to control the dyno based on the command coming from the NI hills. Let us explain the working with an example. NI hills will be given the drive cycle data as part of e-mobility framework, which explains what are the drive cycle patterns to be exposed to motor. So he will give a required loading torque value as an input to VFD. VFD converts this to a current value and devises the control strategies of the dyno so that that specific current can be generated from dyno when it acts as a generator. When dyno acts as a generator, the motor will feel a loading effect since both are coupled using a common shaft, and that loading torque which the motor experiences will be equal to the initial loading torque which hills requested. Such a system can be used for exposing the motor to various drive cycle patterns like the vehicle going uphill, downhill, and even regenerative braking. This slide speaks about the vehicle drive cycle data available for the validation of motor control unit plus inverter at power level. As you can see, we have graphs of vehicle speed against time as well as dynamometer torque against time for different real world patterns which can be used to excite the hill setup. Tata Elxsi also has strong experience in building custom 3D scenario creation tool with 3D visualization and vehicle dynamics. What you're seeing are the actual photographs taken from such simulators built and integrated to e-mobility hills. The latest concepts of game engine technology is used to generate photorealistic 3D animation and to link it with real-time models running inside the hills, especially the dynamometer control as well as the motor control for the ego vehicle motion. This slide summarizes the advantages of using e-mobility hills. It's close to real world due to the real world replication in lab, thanks to the accurate and real-time plan models, which can create dynamics as well as real world ripples. High scalability is another advantage, where we can make use of the modularity and scalability of NI hardware and software which can assure you high amount of scalability. Cost efficient is another advantage of e-mobility hills, where we have very different flexible business models, whether you can either choose from validation as a service, where you give us the ECU alone and we perform end-to-end validation using NI tools, or second, setting up a new hills for you, where we perform also platform licensing for licensing the already available plan models, test automation framework, LabVIEW GUIs, and also the rich library of EV test cases. Faster time to market is another advantage of e-mobility hills. There is zero lead time, as well as there is a reuse of test cases, software modules, which also includes a rich library of EV test scenarios. When you say zero lead time, it's not just the normal tools which we use in a conventional hills, but for a EV test house, we need many high power, high voltage, high current devices like power supplies, loads, battery cycler, etc., which normally has a long lead time. Since we already offer these components readily available, we have very much reduced lead time. Let us conclude by looking at the benefits of using National Instruments tools for EV test. As we have been using predominantly NI based hills as well as the supporting software for creating the e-mobility hills, we are in a good position to comment on the advantages of NI tools. First of all, NI LabVIEW provides a very flexible programming environment to create plan models as well as the test automation framework. When we have a programming environment which allows you to intuitively create logical models that you want to create in minimum time, LabVIEW comes as a first choice. Also, it is easy to integrate with other software modules like NI Veristand, and also the file exchange between other programming platforms is quite easy. For EV test systems, it is very essential to have real-time testing. So the second benefit that we faced is using real-time tools like NI Veristand, which helped us a lot in real-time execution of time-critical systems. When we go for signal level validation of BMS or even motor control unit, we need to have high fidelity plan models running in real time, where for the motor control unit, the PWM pulses are getting generated at very high frequency. Therefore, there should be proper handshaking between the FPGA and the RTPC. Also, the data logging should happen with a very high speed and fidelity. All these became a piece of cake when we used NI Veristand. The third advantage is availability, easy to use nature, modularity, and cost efficiency of NI hardware modules. So whenever we were in need of a specific hardware module, the NI website and the technical support team was helpful enough to us to choose the right hardware, and most of the hardware items will be compatible with the existing chassis, and there is also a cost efficient business model from NI. The next advantage is the availability of high fidelity FPGA boards. So based on which amount of fidelity you want for your motor model or your plan model based on your requirement, you can choose the right FPGA card and integrate with the RTPXI chassis for having a real-time test execution. Also, if you take a look at the data logging, we have high fidelity data logging in form of TDMS file, which allows you to exchange your test data logs to other programming environment if required. Another advantage is easy integration with third-party hardware modules like power supply, load, dynamometer, chiller, temperature chamber, battery cycler, etc. The presence of VISA drivers and the process of creating custom devices for the communication of RTPC with third-party devices is very easy, and it can be implemented in minimum time as compared to developing very detailed programming scripting stuff for other third-party modules. And the last advantage is, of course, the very fast and effective support from National Instruments in troubleshooting as well as clearing our doubts. These are the main reasons which forced us to go ahead with NI based tools for EV validation.